We have seen that how coelom is formed, what are the theories of coelom formation, how coelom has evolved in animal kingdom. We will see further that how triploblastic coelomates are further classified on the basis of process of the coelom formation during the embryonic conditions. So on the basis of the process of coelom formation, the organisms are classified into two basic types: protostomia, which are schizoscoelomates, and deuterostomia, which are enterocoelomates. So enterocoelomates and schizoscoelomates, the animals, they are classified on the basis of the process of coelom formation. We will see, for example, deuterostomia, which are also called as enterocoelomates. Now see in this diagram, this is blastula and it converts into gastrula during the embryonic development. In the gastrula, we can see ectoderm and endoderm, they have developed. Mesoderm will now develop. So in during the embryonic condition development, ectoderm and endoderm, they develop earlier and then mesoderm develops. Now if you see in this diagram, the black cells, they are representing ectoderm, the blue ones, they are representing endoderm, and the red part, this red part is representing the mesoderm. So the mesoderm has developed. In the embryo, if you see in between, this is archentron. This is gastrula. So this is archentron, and in the opening of archentron is called as blastopore. So in when we see this, the mesoderm has developed. If you see in this color diagram on the left hand side, the mesoderm develops first as a small patch. Archentron then out pushes the mesoderm. So when it out pushes the mesoderm, a small pouch is formed. This out pushing keeps on growing. So this out pushing is growing. So when it is growing, the mesoderm is forming larger pouches. In these pouches, archentron is extending. So since archentron is extending, these pouches, they are called as enteric pouches. Now, enteric, the word entron means gut. Archentrons mean primitive gut. So these enteric pouches, they are also called as gut pouches. Now, these pouches, they keep on growing as the embryo grows. So when the embryo is growing, these pouches are growing. Finally, the mesoderm forms a layer, double layer, one towards the ectoderm and one layer towards the endoderm. And the cavity which is present in between the mesoderm or towards ectoderm and the mesoderm towards the endoderm, this cavity is called as the coelom, which is colored by turquoise color in this diagram. You can see this. So enterocoelomates. So the enterocoelomates are those organisms in which coelom is formed by formation of enteric pouches. The mesoderm is forming enteric pouches due to outpushing of the archentron. The archentron pushes the mesoderm. So These organisms, they are also called as deuterostome. In deuterostome, blastopore forms the anus and mouth is formed later, and these are all enterocoelomic. So see, in this gastrula you see blastopore. This blastopore in deuterostomes will give rise to anus. So all enterocoelomates are deuterostome. Now in the previous lecture we have seen that true coelom is found in chordata, hemichordata, echinodermata, mollusca, arthropoda, and Annelida. Now, out of these, chordata, hemichordata, and echinodermata, they are classified as enterocoelomata. On the basis of embryonic development, the process of coelom formation is enterocoelic. That's why chordata, hemichordata, and echinodermata are enterocoelomates or deuterostomes. So in competitive exam, we have to remember that whole phylum Chordata is enterocoelomic. So they ask specifically question related to animals. Suppose they will ask for snakes, that they will give an example of snake, that this snake, suppose rattlesnake, has which type of coelom. So we need not to remember coelom of every organism. We need to remember the phylum. Now phylum Chordata has classes Cyclostomata, then it has superclass Pisces, then it has Tetrapoda, the reptile, aves, mammals. So all these organisms which are included in phylum Chordata are enterocoelomates. So we need not to remember the name of every organism. We have to use the concept that enterocoelomates, all chordates are enterocoelomates, hemichordates are enterocoelomates, and echinoderms are enterocoelomates. Now see, echinoderms, they are invertebrate, and chordata are the vertebrate, towards the vertebrate part of the classification. And hemichordata, they are called as connecting link between vertebrata and invertebrata, but they are classified as invertebrate phylum. So we have two invertebrate phylums having enterocoelomic coelom and the whole chordate phylum having enterocoelomic coelom. Now next we move to protostomia or the schizoscoelomates. Protostomia or the schizoscoelomates. Schizo, the word schizo means splitting. Now if you see in this diagram, protostomia is written, protostomes. All schizoscoelomates are protostomia. So if you see, this is gastrula, and in gastrula this is ectoderm, this is endoderm, and in between these, if you see these orange part, this is the mesoderm which has developed. This is the blastopore. Now in mesoderm, a split occurs. All these cells, they form a split in between and they separate. Now this split will keep on growing. This split will keep on growing and it will extend further and it will enclose the total ectoderm and endoderm. See in this diagram, the mesoderm has completely covered the ectoderm and endoderm. And the cavity which is formed in between, is called as coelom. But here the coelom is formed by splitting of mesoderm. So since it is formed by splitting of mesoderm, it is called as schizoscoelomata. So the examples of schizoscoelomata are first is Annelida, then Arthropoda, and then Mollusca. Okay, so Mollusca, Arthropoda, and Annelida. Now, questions which are asked in exam, you have to remember that. Suppose earthworm has which type of coelom? So earthworm belongs to Annelida, so it will have schizocoelom. Cockroach will have which type of coelom? Periplaneta will have which type of coelom? Scorpion will have which type of coelom? Spider has which type of coelom? So all these questions, they are covered through this Annelida, Arthropoda, and Mollusca. Now there is one more term. In some organisms, the coelom forms a different cavity which is called as hemocoel. The cavity is called as hemocoel. Now see, what is hemocoel? Hemocoel. See, the word he means blood. The word means he means blood. So blood filled cavity. Blood filled cavity is called as a hemocoel. Now if you see here, blood filled cavity. Now the question is the blood filled cavity a true coelom? This is the question. Now if you see, if we have an organism, suppose this, we see this. Now here if you see, this part is the coelom which is lined by mesoderm on both the sides. Now if we fill this part with blood, then this will be called as a hemocoel. Now we have read the definition of coelom, that coelom is a body cavity which is filled with a coelomic fluid and is lined by mesodermal lining on both the sides. Now here the coelomic fluid is present, but with the coelomic fluid blood is also present, so that's why the cavity is called as hemocoel. Then they have a open circulatory system. Now since blood itself is a mesodermal connective tissue, so the true coelom is not considered to be present in whole body of such organism. And hemocoel is found where? It is found in Mollusca and Arthropoda. So Mollusca and Arthropoda, they are having hemocoel. So if we see Annelida, Arthropoda, and Mollusca, these were the three examples. Now Annelida are the only one left here which we have a true coelom throughout the body, and Arthropoda and Mollusca, the true body cavity, the true coelom is replaced by hemocoel, but in some parts of the body, example around the gonads, true coelom is also present in Arthropoda and Mollusca. Now how is this used for classification? How do we use what we have studied for classification? Now we see in this part, see, kingdom Animalia, we divided it into Parazoa, Mesozoa, and Metazoa. And Metazoa, they were further divided into Diploblastic and Triploblastic, and Triploblastic were classified into Acoelomata, Coelomata, and Pseudocoelomata. We have seen this earlier. Then Acoelomata are Platyhelminth, Rhynchocoela, and Coelomata are Protostomia and Deuterostomia. Then there are certain phylum about which we are not still clear whether they are falling in Protostomia or Deuterostomia. So protostomes are Annelids, Mollusca, and Arthropoda, Onychophora, Pentastomida, Pogonophora, Siponcula, and Acura. These are the minor phylum. These are some minor phylum. Annelida, Mollusca, and Arthropoda, these are the major phylums. Then in Deuterostomata, we have seen Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and Chordata. And Pseudocoelomata, if you see nematoda, the roundworms, then we have Rotifera, Chinorhyncha, Acanthocephala, Nematomorpha. So this is how coelom plays an important part in classification of organisms. Thank you.